once you have a solution on paper, how long will it actually take to fix it?
It's a very tight location. We've got the lagoon there, and we've got a lot of residents in the neighborhood, so I would anticipate it's going to take probably 4 to 5 years to get consensus on what is the solution at that location. If revenue is available, I mean, we could quickly be out in construction, say 2 to 3 years after that, but revenue is the big constraint.
Gosh, it must be so challenging to build it and yet have the traffic going through that work site. It would be very disruptive, wouldn't it, to have that work being done at that site, at that tight site.
Well, we've got a lot of great people who've got a lot of great experience in dealing with that. When we built I-15, we had a very similar challenge at Lake Hodges.
Okay.
And in fact, I-5 is going to have that exact challenge at probably all 6 lagoons. One of the big goals we're trying to do is improve the tidal flushing in those lagoons, and most of those lagoon bridges for I-5 actually get removed and replaced and lengthened. And so our challenge is to keep traffic moving. We're not reducing lanes. And keep them moving while we're doing that very difficult
tightening the lanes, you know, that becomes part of it. It's a real. I remember the I-15 work. It was intense. Could you tell us a little bit about bus rapid transit? I-15 is going to be rolling that out, I think, fairly soon. Are the I-5 folks going to be jealous of that service? And it will it be duplicated in the I-5?
So, you know, one of the things that we look at is each corridor is different. Their users are different, their needs are different. The existing infrastructure, the existing land use is all different. So we try to tailor the solution for the corridor. Okay. On the I-5 corridor, you already have the rail line, correct, which acts in many ways, provides the same service as a BRT. Correct. And so the region is investing in more service on the coaster, Amtrak Metrolink connections to Orange County and LA. And BRT is not nearly the same priority as it is on the I-15 corridor, where you don't have those rail options.
Okay, makes sense.
As is it 17 miles of HOV lanes in the plan? Is that right, from down south or Manchester all the way up to Oceanside, as I recall?
Yes.
In the plan, will fast track access to single vehicles be available there? Okay. And will that be a loaded basis on the actual fee structure?
So a couple things. One is our first phase. We talked about 4 10-year decades. Our first phase is to get 1 carpool lane in each direction from Manchester, where it ends now, all the way up to 78. We hope to have that under construction by 2015. And that's going to be focused on carpools. There really isn't going to be enough capacity for that sort of fast track solution. Okay. The second phase, in the 2020 to 2030 timeframe, that's when we get the additional lane in there, and that's when we would bring the fast track, just like you have on I-15. And like I-15, the revenue that's from the pricing structure actually goes back into the corridor to grow transit services, grow coaster services in that corridor. So we keep that revenue local.